Hey everyone, it's Dr. Stacey Naito, and today I'm going to tell you about the Vitalic D colon cleansing system. So this is a great system which you can use to cleanse your colon, to remove mucoid plaques which accumulate in your gut over time. And it's also a great way to lose some weight. Now, my personal experience was I didn't really lose an appreciable amount of weight. But I think for people who, really eat a lot of junk foods and who really need to cleanse their guts, they will benefit greatly from this and they will get some decent weight loss. So I'm going to tell you about my personal experience with this product and kind of walk you through the steps with it. So the Vitalic D system consists of 3 stages. So the first stage is meal reduction. So for 3 days, and the company designates them as day -3, day -2, and day -1. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to progressively reduce the amount of food that you're going to be taking into your body. And by day -1, so it's the day before your actual cleanse where you're using the packets, you're going to be at 50% of your normal food intake. Okay, so you just gradually reduce your intake. Then you've got days 1, 2, and 3. This is a 3-day cleansing system, and then all the packets are in here, and then I'll go over how this all works. But this is 3 days worth of meals and snacks. Okay, so that's your meal replacement. And then after you do the meal replacement, you're going to do the meal restoration, where you're slowly going to reintroduce foods. And so days 4, 5, and 6, you're going to basically start out with just like liquids, so broths, fruit juices, and the like. And then day 5, you can introduce softer foods, like fish, foods that actually digest really, fairly rapidly. You don't want to be eating beef on day 5, and then, and then you slowly progress. So the program is actually detailed on this little handout that they put in the box, and so it basically tells you what you're going to be doing, and then also there are suggestions on when you should be having your meal replacements. Okay, so a couple of really important things that I want to mention to you when you are getting ready to do the Vitalic D cleanse. One is you need to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. Now, I drink a lot of water. I drink almost a gallon of water a day. That wasn't an issue for me. I just didn't stop doing that. I just kept drinking a lot of water. So the importance of getting proper hydration in your system is to also to help move things through the colon so that you get really good evacuation. And I'm talking about poop. Okay, so you want to keep your hydration up. The other thing is keep up your exercise. And the company says to perform light exercise, which I don't do light exercise. I do moderate to heavy because I've been a fitness professional for over 30 years. I work out with weights. I train 5 to 6 days a week. So that being said, I kind of eased up just a little bit. I wasn't lifting super heavy, but I was definitely still hitting my workouts and being very consistent about that. So another really important component is when you're going through days, I would say days 3, 4, 5, and 6, or maybe even day 2, start doing abdominal massage. And so what you're going to do is just kind of massage your abdomen to get everything to release so you can actually go to the bathroom. Okay? So here is the box, and all the ingredients are listed on the back here, okay, so you can read basically what's in these packets. So I'm going to go over each of the packets. So this box has 6 snack packets, and then it has, let's see, 9 meal 1 packets and 9 meal 2 packets, and I'll explain how you're going to use them. So the meal packets are designed to be, each packet is designed to be mixed with 250 mLs of water, or in other words, 8 ounces. Okay, so days 1, 2, and 3, all you're going to do is have these packets. You're not going to be eating any other food, okay? Now, when you wake up in the morning, you take a snack packet, which is basically like greens powder, okay? And it's actually, it's quite pleasant. I actually like the taste of it. It was really nice. So this was the container that I used. I took the mixer cage out of this container, and what I would do is just put my 250 mLs of water in, add my snack, mix up, and then drink this, okay? So that's your snack that you have right when you wake up, okay? Next, your breakfast will consist of one meal, 1 packet, and one meal, 2 packet. Your lunch will consist of one meal, 1 packet, and one meal, 2 packet. Your dinner will consist of one meal, 1 packet, and one meal, 2 packet. And finally, basically your evening snack is going to be another snack packet. So again, that greens powder mixed with 250 mLs of water. Okay. So each of these packets is supposed to be mixed with 250 mLs of water. So the company recommends that you either like drink one, like do the meal 1 packet with 250 mLs of water, and then do your meal 2 packet with another 250 mLs of water, or you can mix the two together and then mix them in 500 mLs of water. I would not recommend that for a very good reason. So that was the first thing that I did, like my very first meal, meal 1, breakfast, I did that. Oh my goodness. So I had the 500 mLs of water, and I put the 2 packets in, and I shook it, and I wasn't really, I was kind of swirling a little bit, but the packets and the water congealed into this, it was this crazy mass. It looked like pudding, and I basically had to take a spoon and eat it, and it was not so great. I'm a texture person, and it was kind of disgusting, so I would not recommend that. So I definitely don't think that you should mix 2 packets at once. I think it's a really bad idea. Okay. So my other observation was that the meal 2 packet, wasn't meal 2 packet. One of these packets was really, really grainy. I think it was the meal 2 packet. And it was just too grainy for me. So what I started doing was I would get my 250 mLs of water. I would add half of a meal 1 packet and half of a meal 2 packet, and then shake that up and then drink that, and then I would immediately rinse out the container, get another 250 mLs of water, and mix the rest of the meal 1 and meal 2 packets into that second 250 ml water measurement, and then drink that down. Okay, so a couple more recommendations. So the snack packets are purple. They're marked purple, so they're pretty easy to kind of visualize. But meals 1 and 2, it's really tricky, and I would actually recommend that the company maybe think about changing the color, maybe doing meal, like maybe the meal 2 packet could be like blue or just some other color, because meal 1 packet is pink and the meal 2 packet is salmon, and I'm going to come up really close here so you can see how close these 2 colors are. So you can easily get those mixed up. Because again, when you're opening up this box, you've got all these packets, and it's kind of hard to tell, although this is all snack, meal 1, meal 2, and snack. But you're going to be really hungry. You're going to probably feel kind of out of it. I know I was really out of it. And during the 3 days that I did this cleanse, I was so tired. I mean, I was just exhausted. I had no energy. I presume it was because I was releasing toxins. So that's why I would say, just if there's a way that you can very clearly designate, which are meal 1 and meal 2 packets, I would highly recommend it. So one other very important point that I want to make to all of you is when you are mixing, okay, so Actually, I'm going to open the box again. So you take your 250 mLs of water, and say you're doing 1 meal 1 packet, or you're going to do 1 meal 2 packet, or you're going to do that half and half like I did. So when you mix really, really well. Make sure everything is distributed really evenly. You're going to mix, okay? And as soon as it's mixed, start drinking like rapidly, okay? So you start drinking rapidly, and like what I would do is I would take a big sip and I would swirl to make sure that the mixture didn't solidify. And then I would drink a big old gulp again, swirl, 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 swirl. If I noticed it was starting to solidify, I'd shake a little bit harder. Maybe I'd put the cap back on and I'd shake like this, and then just keep drinking. So I would consume a 250 ml meal in like 50 seconds. I mean, you really got to do it quickly. You got to get it into your system and then you're done, okay? So the meal packets basically consist of, I would say, 2 main classes of ingredients. One are greens, okay? And then the second main component is fiber, okay? So that's part of the reason why this stuff solidifies when you leave it sitting in a container for more than even like a minute, okay? So that breaks down what you're going to do. I know it can be kind of hard. Been there, done that. The company recommends that if you're feeling nauseous, you can add honey. I mean, I didn't feel nauseous. I didn't add honey. So the other recommendation that they have is they said that, like, if you're feeling a little hungry, you can drink down a little bit of fruit juice. You can have a little bit of yogurt, or you can have milk. My professional opinion is you should stay away from yogurt, and especially milk, because dairy products do have this tendency to accumulate in the gut, and this is the very reason why you're doing the cleanse. So why would you put dairy products in your body? So I don't agree with putting yogurt, and again, especially milk, into your body while you're doing the cleanse. So just hold off on that. Don't do the dairy. I think it's a bad idea. So one thing that I made sure that I did was that I weighed myself in the days preceding the cleanse, and I had started out at 128. I was like 128 and some change, and then my base weight before I started the actual cleanse, so this is I was doing the meal reduction, I got down to 126. Okay, so I lost 2 pounds. Okay. During the cleanse, I hovered between, well, I was basically 127 pounds. I mean, that didn't really fluctuate. It was 127, 127, 127. And it's funny because I'm now about a week out from the entire cleanse. So I reintroduced my foods. Days 4, 5, and 6 were last week. I'm back to 128. So, I mean, did it really work for me? Not really. But then again, I mean, I don't have a significant weight problem. I don't really have a weight problem. I would like to be maybe about 5 pounds skinnier, but that's just my personal preference. But yeah, the 2 pounds that I had lost during the cleanse came right back, and I've been eating clean. I just eat clean. So now that being said, so I wanted to discuss what was going on with my digestion before I did the cleanse. So I've been having a lot of issues with basically an overactive colon. I would go to the bathroom like between, on average, 2 to 5 times a day, every day, and it was just I was actually pretty miserable because my colon was so overactive. And I presume that some of it had to do with some food intolerances. Even though I try to be very careful, like I tend to avoid gluten, I avoid dairy, but still my gut wasn't happy. So it was interesting. I did the cleanse, and when I started the cleanse and I did the meal reduction, by day -1, I didn't have a bowel movement. And I was thinking, oh, this is interesting. Then I did my day 1 of the system with the packets, no bowel movement. Day 2, no bowel movement. Day 3, I finally had a bowel movement. I actually had 3 bowel movements that day. So what I found was that what I had eliminated it looked like it was kind of covered in mucus. It was really interesting, but it was a normal shape, you know, I would say, normal size, all of that, normal volume, all that. So then I got to day 4, and I eliminated 3 times that day. And I noticed that mucus kind of appearance, it persisted. And again, the shape and volume was about the same, but there was just this weird coating. And then by day 5, I had 2 bowel movements, and the second movement looked more ribbon-like. So it wasn't necessarily brown, it was almost like a greenish brown. And again, with that mucus coating and almost a little bit ribbon-like. The longest ribbon I saw was maybe about 6 inches long. And so I thought that was interesting. And once I eliminated, I actually felt pretty good. I mean, I didn't get like a flatter stomach or anything. I actually have a pretty flat belly, but I just felt better. So in conclusion, the Vitalic D colon cleansing system is a fantastic system if you're just trying to eliminate all that gunk that's built up. And trust me, you guys, you have gunk built up in your colons. So, I saw what came out of me. That was interesting. There are reports that some people will get these, what are called mucoid plaques, that are almost alien looking. I did not get that. What I surmise is that I already eat really clean, and so there wasn't much sludge to get rid of. So that's my theory. Those are my thoughts. I'm going to stick to that. So anyway, yeah, great system. Definitely check this out, and check out the links at the end of this video. So thank you so much for listening and watching, and have an amazing, healthy day.